Hey, welcome everybody to our Monday night Moshiach class. And let's get started. We are on Parshas Naso. And let's hop right in here. Okay. Shaycho Shel Yom HaShabbos Kodesh Zeh. The Zaman Matan Torah Seno, Madgeshes Bakama Inini. The relevance to this Shabbos, to the time of the giving of the Torah, is emphasized in many matters. The Chol the Rosh, first of all, Yom HaShabbat Harishon. This sikh was originally given right after Shavuos. It was a Shabbat after Shavuos. Therefore, the Rebbe is talking about this is the first Shabbos after the giving of the Torah. That is not the case for us because we haven't received the Torah yet. Shavuos is Friday and Shabbos. Anyways, Shabbat Nasa Ilui Hashlemus is Man Torah, that this is bringing to the completion and elevation of the giving of the Torah. But Prat B'Yom Shabbos Shela Achre Zaman Matan Torah Sino, specifically as is connected to the Shabbat after the giving of the Torah. But May Hishtalomin, the Zaman Matan Torah, the completion of the Torah, as we said. But Gasha Yisera B'Kaviyah Shana Zul, and it's emphasized even more in this particular year. That the Torah was given on the first day of the week that year. Yom Shabbat Yud Beis Sivan, and the Shabbat after is the 12th of Sivan. Kevan Yisrael v'Chaisam Yemei Hashtilomin Hal b'Yom Shabbat Nasebo Ha'ilui V'Shlemus Zman Matan Torah Senu V'Chol Yemei Hashtilomin Shelo. Again, that it's just bringing completion and elevation to the actual giving of the Torah. That's also connected to this week's Parsha, Parshas Naso. Naso es Roish, lifting up their heads. Literally, this week's Parsha were in Parshas Naso. It means to lift up their heads, to count. And the Rebbe said is the main way to lift yourself up, to lift up your head, to elevate your place and your stature is through learning Torah. And not only that, when you lift up your head, the whole entire body goes up. And this is including in your service in the world as well. That everything in the world, when you learn Torah, when you increase in your Torah learning, not only do you elevate your Torah learning, you elevate your head and your body and your entire portion of the world. In other words, it has a positive impact on every single thing that you do. And there is to add to this that it's hinted also in the language of it says, and you should lift up the heads of the Jewish people. Since that it's going out from the tribe of Kachat, because they're responsible for carrying the Aaron. Excuse me. Aaron HaKodesh. Torah, which is connected to the learning of Torah. Excuse me. It's also lifting up from carrying the head of the tribe of Gershon. Nase hayiriyos she'kasher im sha'ar haninim ha'avoda klogam b'rirah ha'olam. Excuse me, sneeze attack here. Again, just emphasizing that it's lifting up also their specific portions of the world. Wow. And there's also relevance to the specific Pirkei Avos that are being learned at this point in time. Nosaf al lemad Masechtas Avos b'Shabbatot shebein Pesach le'Atzeres. We know that we during the summer months we learn one parak of Pirkei Avos after Mincha every week. Kanan Zman Matan Torah. This is also preparation for the learning, for the receiving of the Torah. Cheluim al hapasuk halemad Masechtas Avos b'Shabbos achi Zman Matan Torah Seino. And we see the beginning. According to the learning of Masechtas Avos that takes place in the Shabbat, Otzesim is Matan Torah, Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai, Masar Yeshua, which is the first of the Pirkei Avos, talking about how Moshe received the Torah on Har Sinai and gave it as an inheritance to Yeshua. And it was commanded to raise up many students. And this lifts up all the Jewish people in all generations forever. The Kabbalah, and this is also connected, as we said, to refining your specific portion in the world. That the world stands on three pillars. It stands on the three pillars of Torah learning, of good deeds or mitzvot, and of prayer. And it also says there's three things that the world stands upon. And what are those? Din, peace, and truth. Din means judgments, peace, and truth, right? The world would be a much better place if the truth was revealed, which it's going to be, and it's already started. Because when the truth is revealed, then you have automatically this concept of judgment, because how do you judge between right and wrong without truth? If everything is sheker and everything is lies, there's no way to ascertain how to judge something. That's why one of the 7 laws of Noah, in fact, the 7th law of Noah, which is connected to the sphere of Malchus, specifically is to establish courts of justice, meaning no bribery and no lies. Everything has to be transparent. And when you have truth, you can have judgment. And you have judgment, you can decide between right and wrong. And then you have peace in the world. They all go together. And this parsha Naso brings completion to the giving of the Torah. Because then it's renewing the concept of Torah even from the first time. We know that every single year when we get the Torah, it's not the same Torah. It's higher because God keeps elevating the world. So the goal is to, increase from year to year. And therefore we see every one of the Jewish people must add on and bring newness to all the matter in Torah and mitzvot. The Gimel Kavin, Torah, Avodah, Gemor, Chasidin, Shalehem, Ha'olam, Omed, on the three pillars that the world stands on, Torah, mitzvot, and prayer, that we have to increase in all of them. And this is hinted on the fact that the Torah is given in the 3rd month. And the 3rd month is connected to all 3 pillars the world stands on. And they must be renewed. And this will bring about newness and the fulfillment of the world, like in the time of the giving of the Torah. And this is something the Rebbe emphasizes a lot. Just to take a brief moment to explain this. We're never meant to stand still. What happens is in life, we become static. And when you become static, you stop growing. So what God does is he come along sometimes and he gives you a nudge. and sometimes he gives you a push, and sometimes he gives you a patch. And the idea isn't to aggravate you, it's to take you out of your comfort zone. And he does that so we can grow, because by nature, we usually take the path of least resistance. So we get into our own kind of funk, if you will, our own kind of comfort place, especially when it's a service of Hashem. People think this concept of being a Baal Tshuva is applying only to people who are out, partying in nightclubs and not keeping kosher in Shabbat. And then they do tshuva and then they become from like everyone else. But tshuva is an every day, every week, every month, every year occurrence. We must constantly continue to grow. And therefore, we have to continue to grow in our Torah, in our prayer, and in our good deeds. And remember that the Sefer Yetzirah explains that there's the world was given, God created the world in 3 books. And all 3 books are connected to what we say is numerosity, which are the sfirot, quality, which are the letters, and then the ability to convey them or to speak in stories. So, automatically we default, especially in a place of America, where more is better. So when the Rebbe says increase, someone automatically thinks about, I have to do more Torah or do more mitzvot. It's not necessarily true, because you can increase in quality, not just in quantity. So you can take your learning more serious. You could focus more. You could shut your phone off when you're learning. You could take your davening more serious. You could take your mitzvot more serious. You have more kavanah. So it doesn't necessarily mean you always have to add in number. But you have to increase, because if we don't increase in quantity or quality, it's ideally both, we become stagnant. When we become stagnant, guess what? No more growth. Base of Bura Indian. Let's explain this further. All the pasuk b'chodesh hashlishi b'yom hazeh, and when it says in this day on the 3rd month, Rashi explains lo yatzrich liktoiv ela b'yom hahu mahu b'yom hahu. What is this yom hazeh? What is it talking about? Divrei Torah chadashim elecha ki'ilu hayom nitnu. It's referring to, it says this day, referring to every day. The Torah must be renewed as if you were given it today. Again, a hard thing to do, but literally we have to become like children. When we're having a hard times or difficult times, and again, it's easier said than done. Instead of thinking, about the negative aspect, you become childlike, not childish, but childlike. Of, I wonder how my Abba is going to get me out of this situation now, because I don't see. Become curious, not become, thinking of the negative, but try to, reinstill this curiosity that we had as children. Because every single day God does give us the Torah brand new. God creates the world brand new and creates us brand new. As we say in the blessing before we go out to the Torah, the Torah you're giving us, like now in the present, not that you gave us. An example of the renewal of that God creates the world brand new every single day. And every single day in your goodness, you restore and bring newness to creation. How much more so is referring to the renewal of giving the Torah, not just of creation. Because God created the world through the Torah. He looked into the Torah as a blueprint and then created the world. And therefore, when we continuously renew the Torah, we're renewing all of creation. And it really and truly gives us the ability to live our life in a new way, in an exciting way. It's something that's literally re-energized. Again, hard to bring into reality, but that's the potential. And the brand new giving of the Torah takes place every single year when we receive the Torah. And we must renew it in general and also renew it specifically every day. Just like the renewal of creation. Because every single Rosh Hashanah, God literally recreates the entire world brand new. ומתחדשות כלל זו המשך התחדשות בפרקטיס בכל עניין. And we take this general renewal and draw it down into the details of every single aspect of life. וזה מובן גם בנוגע להתחדשות תורה אצל האדם, and this is connected to the renewal of the Torah that must be done by each one of us individually. שהיו דברי תורה חדשים אליך כאילו היום ניתנו. And the Torah should, the words of the Torah should be brand new to you, as if you were given them today. שלמר התורה יהיה בתוך החיות והתענוג. נתנס כוח התחדשות החיות והתענוג בתורה בכל יום. היא מתחדשות החיות והתענוג תורה בזמן תורתנו. And therefore, when we learn the Torah in a way of newness, it brings us life force and pleasure and joy. And this gives us the power to continuously renew it and bring us more pleasure and more joy every single day. Gimel. So it's necessary to understand the renewal that must take place in the Torah even after it was given on the Shabbos after. And according to what we said above, that there is two renewals of the Torah. The first one is the general renewal of the Torah that is given every year when the Torah is given to us on Shavuos, brand new. And the second is and the second is the unique details that are renewed every single day along with this general renewal of the Torah. And this is emphasized even more, the giving of the Torah and the Shabbos after that it was given. Mashma, it's implied and that the renewal of the Torah every single day is added on to Aleph, Korin Bo Nase Es Roish, when we read this week's parsha, which is lifting up the heads. Nesiyoit Roish Ve'erech Le'itadshut Bezman Matan Torah Sein, that we're lifting up the heads. And what does it mean? It's connected to the renewal of the Torah. And secondly, Va'aj Metchilim Al HaPasuk Moshe Kivel Torah Misinai. We see this also at the pasuk of Pirkei Avos, that Moshe received the Torah on Sinai. Moshe Matan Torah Chadasha by Erech L'Itchadshut B'Zman Matan Torah, and this is the renewal that takes place every single year in the giving of the Torah. But we have to understand Mahu Echidesh Noisef Shenasa B'Shabbos La'achis Zman Matan Torah Shebekol Zeh Mudgash Bo B'Yoser in the Matan Torah. So the Rebbe said, okay, every single new year the Torah is given brand new. And when the Torah is given brand new, we generally have a new energy from the Torah that is drawn down and brought into the world. And that power and that energy gives us the ability to bring newness to the Torah every single day and into our lives and everything that we do. But the question is, how is this increased in the Shabbos after the giving of the Torah? What is so special about that Shabbos? Dalit. V'yesh lebor ze pakdam he'inin noisev hitchadshut matan Torah. So there is to explain to this and preface this concept of adding on to the renewal of the Torah and the uniqueness of the Torah itself. That even in the giving of the Torah and all the matters that are connected to the Torah in general, Lorak, the Eser Sedibro is not only the 10 the 10 commandments and the Gam Torah Kasuv Kulo, but the entire written Torah, Vichadim Perusha B'Torah Sha'al Kulo, including all the details of the oral Torah. Kulo Gam Kalinim HaTorah Shnizgaloi Mitchadshui B'Meshach Kol Doros Kol Dorozeh, including in general all the matters of the Torah that will be revealed and are renewed throughout the continuation of all generations up until this time, this point in time. Even what that we are learning and what we'll learn in the future and will be renewed that was given to Moshe on Har Sinai. In other words, everything came to Moshe. There's nothing that didn't come to Moshe. But there's little points, if you will, that had to be expanded on and opened up that continue to be opened up on. That the general concept of the giving the Torah through the giving of the Torah, you have general, and then over time, all these details get revealed, as we're speaking about. And this includes revealing through learning Torah in your own unique way, and how it's revealed to you in a new way. That even in the Torah was given what will be revealed in the future to come. Torah shel Moshiach sholemur es kohuam. That the special Torah, called the new Torah that will come out from Hashem. This is the Torah of Mashiach. That will be revealed in the future. That Mashiach will teach Torah to the entire nation. It's called the new Torah, Torah Chadash. It's a new Torah. That will come out from God Himself. The Torah is galis bisman that it's not compared at all to the Torah we're receiving now. The Torah we received, that Moshe received on Har Sinai, is nothing at all compared to the new Torah that we were going to see and reveal when Mashiach comes. And again, all these things were given to Moshe, but they were only given in a point. They weren't revealed in their fullest abilities. As our rabbis teach us, the Torah that we learn now in these times and places is hevel. It's like hot air. In other words, there's nothing to compare to the Torah of Mashiach. And through the renewal of the Torah, will also brings you a renewal to the world. A new heaven and a new earth, Asher and said that Hashem will bring forth. By the way, I'm learning. In other words, in addition to this renewal that will take place, that this newness that will take place, as we're saying, in addition to this, that explains that this matter that is already drawn down and revealed the first time, which is the source of the first time of giving the Torah, right? In other words, everything was already given to Moshe, but it was given in what we say a nakuda, or a point. It wasn't developed to its full potential. Because then all the new renewal will come forth. And then furthermore, and adding on to this renewal that up until this point has not been revealed. And that means a new Torah. The new heavens and a new earth. So just to summarize this point, because the Rambam explains that the initial stages of Mashiach, there will not be a change in the general order of things. In other words, the original stages, the first stages, the klipa, the forces of impurity will be removed from the world. The Jewish people will be free to learn Torah and will not be harassed by the nations of the world anymore. And everything will continue in the natural progression. But then there'll be a second stage where it'll be a totally new heaven and earth, a totally new Torah, something like you can't even begin to imagine. Godliness will be revealed in everything, in all capacities. And all of these matters are going to come forth. And therefore, it's called Torah Chadasha, a new Torah. They'll come out from Hashem. Hey, let's explain this further. Amr Hazal, the rabbis teach us, Kaha Oimer, Devar Bishem Oimru, the oil that all these matters and that will bring redemption into the world of Isbara Bazah, Shechidish Torah, Shechadashim, Magalim, Tala Amot, Hachma, Shayo, Makovishim, Begoila, Arata, who in Shagola, Torah Atzmai, Idea Gola, but Torah, the big Gola, although. So the Rebbe is saying an interesting point. And he talks about this probably in the Sikha. That the reason we're in the exile is because the Torah is in exile, meaning that the inner dimension of the Torah still hasn't been brought out until its fullest, which is why we learn, and our rabbis teach us, that it says, and the Rebbe emphasizes this a lot, that in order to prepare for Mashiach, the best way is to learn Chassidus, the inner dimension of the Torah, especially the Torah Chassidus of Mashiach, which we learn every Monday night, because what we're doing is we're revealing the inner dimensions of the Torah. And the more we reveal the inner part of the Torah, it brings godly energy of what we say is achdus, or unity, or oneness, where we start revealing how the world is not separate from God, that God and the world are truly one thing. And the more we reveal this energy into the world, the more it brings about redemption into the world. So the idea is to continue to reveal the innermost dimensions of the Torah. And that's what the Rebbe is saying now, that when we reveal these innermost dimensions of the Torah, it brings redemption not only to the Torah, but to the entire world. But nevertheless, this concept of Geula, even though the Rebbe said we've already started the initial stages of redemption, we still find ourselves in the situation of exile. The Geula de Purim, like the Geula of Purim. Echti ivdi achashveros anan. V'tam hadavar, kivan shegam ha'geula b'Torah eno b'shleimus. We know that like after the Geula of Purim, we were still in exile, right? We were still under the rule of Achashverosh. We were still under the rule of the Persian government. So we had freedom. We experienced Geula, redemption, from our oppressors, but it wasn't a complete redemption because we entered back into exile. And it's the same idea. We have experienced Geula. We started this general idea of redemption. The Torah, the inner dimension of the Torah, has been revealed through the Baal Shem Tov and all the Rebbeim throughout the years. Yet at the same time, we're not there completely because we're still in the states of exile. And therefore, the redemption of the Torah is not complete. Shahari gam la'achri she'talmid v'ati magala muchadesh inin prati b'Torah yishnam oid riboy ininin kovesim b'golus. Because therefore, as we said before, the Torah is still in the exile, and we're still in the exile, even though we're starting redemption. Shleimus Geula b'Torah, and the completion of the redemption in the Torah, shizgadu koninim shebatorah ha'yidei hakodesh baruch hu, is this will be revealed through Hashem Himself. How Torah Chadash Amitzi Teitzi, the new Torah that will come out from me, that God Himself will reveal. That this revelation comes from the power of Hashem, and then it will reach its ultimate completion. It's written, and your teacher will no longer be concealed from your eyes. You will come to see your teacher in a revealed way. And this will bring forth redemption in a complete way to the entire world. The Hebrew word for ha'olam is the same root as the word for helam, which is concealment. And what is concealed? The life force and the energy of God is concealed in the world. The world covers over the life force of God. We don't see God present. You can, if you learn a lot of Torah and you refine and work on yourself, you can see how God's hand is really behind everything. But for the most part, God is concealed in this world. Hainu, in other words, shechayus Elokai hu b'chinas galus, and that the life force of God is still in this level of exile. Geula le'olam hi shebizbata legamri ahelam v'hester nizgala chayus adiki v'shavah. And that when redemption is brought to the world, what is going to happen? The concealing and hiding over the godly energy will be removed. There will be no more concealment of Hashem. Hashem will become revealed in the world. And the mainly and namely thing is Hashemayim chadashim v'ha'aretz chadashim asher ani aseh. The heavens and the earth will be renewed, and I will create the new heavens and earth, God says. Not only renewal of the heaven and earth like it was in the 6 days of creation, but literally a new heaven and a new earth. And it will be revealed from God Himself. And therefore, the power of God will recreate the heavens and earth from nothing to something in a way that it was at a time distance. But this time it will be revealed. In other words, we will literally see God's life force and His energy behind everything and everything in creation. And then we will see, and it will be revealed way, how the heavens and earth literally are brought about from God, from nothing to something. From God's very essence in His being. That He did. That the very essence of God Himself emanates all of creation, and we will visually see that. That God Himself has the power and the ability to bring about something from nothing. Literally, only God can do that. And therefore, the entire world will be transformed to a dwelling place for God, for His very essence. And we will see that the entire world will be transformed into a dwelling place for God. And then again, God will no longer be concealed by the earth. In fact, the earth will reveal Him instead of concealing Him. We will no longer see the world as a garment that covers over God. Rather, the light of God will be revealed through the earth. And the glory of God will be revealed, and all the world and the flesh will see. Vav. There is to add the renewal of the new heavens and the new earth from God Himself. The Gabi Chadshut Ha'olim Bizman Ma'an Torah U'Bahasan Chidush Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitz Gabi Bizman Ma'an Torah Seinu. And then we will see regarding the newness of the world in the time the Torah was given, and will bring a new Torah and a new heavens, even regarding the Torah that was given. Because the time the Torah was given, that since that part and the main part of the Torah still was in a state of concealment, even though it was given to Moshe and Har Sinai, as we pointed out, it was the depth of it were still hidden below. Then we'll have godliness revealed in the world. Because when we reveal the new aspect of the Torah, we'll renew the aspect of all of creation. And again, the very essence of God will be revealed. No longer will He be concealed. That even in the time of the giving of the Torah, there was a nullification of the decree. And what was the decree? That there was a separation between the upper and the lower worlds. That the upper worlds were not able to descend down into the lower worlds, and the lower worlds were not able to elevate to the upper worlds. Nevertheless, there still remained a separation between the upper and lower worlds. Excuse me, and therefore the division between the upper and the lower world still remained. So in other words, there was what we say is a separation between upper and lower worlds before the Torah was given. The upper worlds couldn't descend below, and the lower worlds couldn't go up above. The giving of the Torah broke through that separation, so you were able to elevate physical things and make them holy, transform them up to God. And you were able to draw godly energy from the upper worlds down into the physical world. But there still remained this concept of what we say upper and lower. There were still what we say spiritual beings and physical beings, even though the separation between them was removed. But let's see the vow in the future to come. Then will be revealed also the main part of the Torah, the new Torah that will come out from Hashem. And then the ultimate level of God will be revealed in the ultimate and complete way in the world. Lo hester klal, there will be no longer any concealment. And the glory of God will be revealed to the entire world, and everyone will see that it's through God's speech that the entire world comes into being. What's happening, brother? And everyone will see how God himself creates this world every single moment from absolutely nothing at all. And this is from the power of Hashem himself. And then automatically there will no longer be a separation between the upper worlds and the lower worlds, because they will become one. And everything will reach what its state of true reality. So even though in the giving of the Torah there was a breaking of the decree between upper and lower, it still remained this concept of something is spiritual and something is physical. But when Mashiach comes, that concept will be removed, and what we say gashmius and ruchnius and physical and spiritual will ultimately turn into a state of complete oneness. Zion. And according to this, there is to explain the unique thing that adds on to the Shabbos after giving the Torah, even regarding the renewal of the Torah itself. First of all, that even though the Torah was renewed and given every year at the time of the giving the Torah, including as the first time the Torah was given, it's still renewed every single year. Yeshmar, there is to say, now we can see specifically how there's a uniqueness that's renewed even regarding the renewal of the Torah and the Shabbos afterwards. One, they're connected to brand new things that were revealed regarding the makabel of the Torah, the receiver of the Torah, when we learn Torah, a mesher kol shana throughout the entire year. In other words, when the Torah, when we receive the Torah on Shavuos, and we get this new energy of the Torah, that new energy is going to help us bring new energy to our learning for the entire year. Yeah, it's a big deal. Hein b'noga lechidush the Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitze, she's guided in the Sina Torah. And there's also a brand newness, the renewal of the new Torah that will come out from Hashem. Kamotze'ah mizeh gam chidush ba'olam, which will bring renewal to the world. Hashemayim chadashim v'aretz chadash. A new Torah, a new heaven, and a new earth. Kevan she'cha lo b'kol yom she'yavua. Zman shel shana kulo. The Einin zeh mudgash be'inin Torah she'korim be'leimer b'shabbat shlach zaman matan Torah seinu. Hein b'parshas hashavua v'hein b'perchi Avos. So the idea the Rebbe is saying is that since that every single year we receive the Torah brand new, and therefore the renewal of the Torah brings renewal to our Torah learning and to all of creation, so it keeps getting renewed. So even the Shabbos that's after the giving of the Torah, it's a new energy. There's new learning. There's new things that continue to get more and more revealed throughout the year. So Shavuos is a big deal, everyone. When we receive the Torah, God willing, we should receive this new Torah, Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitzi, the new Torah of Hashem, this coming Friday, Yom Shishi. Realize that we're getting a brand new energy into our lives that's going to renew us and our everything connected to us, not just our Torah learning and our connection to God, but every little aspect of our life is going to be infused with a new vitality. So take it seriously, because it's a very big deal. Ches, Parshas Shavua, Parshas Nasai. Parshas of the week, which is Parshas Nasa. Atchilas of Parsha Nasa es Rosh. That's how the Torah portion starts, lifting up the heads. Rosh inine lemer Torah. And how do we lift up? Through learning Torah, as we started out tonight's learning with this idea. Nasa es Rosh, lifting up the heads. Inine shahalemer haTorah hu mater hatainui. And the learning Torah increases pleasure. Pleasure which is above seichel, above the intellect. It brings us a higher level of realization, a higher level of connection to our source. And through adding on our Torah learning, the Chidush Torah, especially finding new things in the Torah, mainly and furthermore, we will find new things in the Torah. Let's see the vote. Because the more we dig into the Torah and the more inner aspects of the Torah we reveal, the more joy and pleasure we reveal in the Torah and in our souls, all in preparation for the new Torah that will come out from Hashem when Moshiach comes. But yes, in addition to this, הכסוב נאמר ונעשו ראש בני גרשון גם הם ששייך לשבט לוי דווקא הרי נשיא לבוא היה עניין הוא אצל כל בני ישראל פסק דין הרמב"ם לא לשבט לוי בלבד אלא כל איש ואיש. And it says in the future to come we will all reach the level of Kohanim. We will all be able to go to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, to the holiest places. אשר נדבה רוחי עשר וחיווינו מדוע להבדיל לעמוד לפני השם נשאר לעבוד as Hashem. And we will all know the deep secrets and connect to the inner dimensions of God. Perek ma'at su'eri oil hashbonois Rabbi Masher b'kasher b'nei Adam. And God will remove our stiff necks, our stubbornness, if you will, that is interfering with our connection to Him. Psaktin Rambam b'siyam v'chaysim sifrei b'oiser hazman lo haya oiser kol olam and the das Hashem b'levad. And the entire occupation of the world will only be to know God. That will be the main currency. No one's going to care anymore how much money is in your bank account because we're all going to be rich. The value of a person is not going to be based on what kind of car is in your driveway or how big your house is, or what kind of watch you have. It's going to be how connected you are to God and how deep your Torah knowledge is. Because the entire occupation of the world will only be to know God. The Fichach, you call Yisrael Hachad Min Gedolim, the Jewish people all turn into great Talmid Chacham, great big Torah scholars. We are doing Devarim Hasoimim V'Yigashe De'as Harois, and we all know the deepest secrets of the Torah. The Indians Mudgash Gamba Parshas Nazira Shem Behemshek Parshas Nasai, and we also talk about the Parsha Nazir that is connected to this week's Parsha. B'dini Nazira Mudgash in Etcha Lo b'kol yom shebo al pi halacha. I'm talking about the Nazir who agrees not to cut his hair or drink wine. When a Nazir takes an oath upon himself that I'm not going to drink wine on the day that Mashiach comes, he's forbidden to ever drink wine, because that's how strong we believe that Mashiach is coming today. That's what we just said. And this is also connected to the new Torah that will come out from God. Literally now, not just the future, it's going to come right now. And as soon as this moment's over, the Rebbe said, we're going to say we're already in the new Torah. It's already come out. Yes. And this will also bring a renewal and newness to the world. New heavens and new earth, God says, I will make. Rumors with Parshas Naso, it's hinted in Parshas Naso. Tchilas Parsha Medubar Oidois Aminyan the Bnei Gershon Ubnei Merari Lirois Kama Yesh Had Shegir the Kla Avoda the Avod the Maseh Avodas Maseh, talking about the service of the temple and carrying of the ark. Nasias Chayrio Yishvahishkari Verakarashim. When they're traveling through the desert, and the carrying of the Mishkan of the Aaron until there is the inaugural of the Mishkan. Yesh Lamar says Shaykhs Hanuchas Hamishkan Venasois Be'ez Hamasoit Amidbar the Parshas Nasai, connected to this week's Parsha, the journeys in the desert and the inauguration of the Mishkan. Who all direct Dugmas from Nitinas Torah B'Midro Dafka. It specifically took place in the fact that the Torah was given in the desert, as we explained. Eretz Lo Yishna Adam Sham, a place where people cannot live, a place of what we say Hefker. Because there's nothing lower than the desert. The Shabbat Yisberek v'Aydeg Menodim Vidan Sha'ilui there's Nasa Es Roish Nimshach v'Choyd Rabba Oilam Shezehu Teichen Inin Asiyas HaMishkan L'Achri v'Hemshach L'Ma'an Torah Kedei Shigilui L'Ma'an Torah Nimshach v'Chilu v'Oilam. Okay, again, the fact that the Torah was given in the desert, showing a place of ownerlessness, and that the concept of bittul, of nullification, to bring this level of the Torah throughout the whole world. And this will be, of course, revealed in the future to come, when we will have the inauguration of the third temple. The temple that was established by the work of our hands. Yaskira Eshmi Abo Elecha Verechesecha Abakal Oidim Kulo, and the entire world again will be affected and revealed from the base of Migdash, the godly essence, into the world. Shashlemus the base of Migdash Nitzin Urishus Lahakanim. Zkaryam Bafora Menosil Kafayim, that God will establish the work of our hands throughout this time in the exile. And everyone will come to know God, and He will be one with His name. And God's name, the tetragrammaton, will be revealed, meaning that His name and Him will be one. That God's essence and His revelation of how He revealed Himself and concealed Himself in the world will once again reveal itself in a state of oneness. And it will be revealed and penetrated to the entire world. It is written, and on that day, God's name will be one, and He will be one with His name. And then again, the entire world will be transformed into a dwelling place for God. And this will encompass the entire world, will become God's dwelling place. And the entire world again will, for God's very essence and being, will be revealed. And the fact that God creates everything from absolutely nothing whatsoever will become readily apparent to everyone. And the new heavens and the new earth that God himself is going to create. And the main important thing is that the whole world will see it coming from God. You take a random sample of 10 people right now in the street and say, how do we get here? Some will say God, some will say a monkey, some will say a big bang, some will say, I don't know. Some will say, I never thought about it. Everyone will see how every single thing in the world is brought to us by Hashem. Yud. In addition to this, that this Parsha Naso that we're reading this week is hinted also on the service that we must do to bring newness to the Torah, which will bring newness to also the days of Mashiach. Excuse me. First, we have to understand this idea that every single one of the Jewish people have a spark of Mashiach in our soul. Mashiach is called the Yechida Klavit. He's the general soul of all the Jewish people. And each one of our souls are connected to him. And therefore, we each have a spark of Mashiach inside of us. It's the fifth level of our soul called the Yechida. Rumaz, but Pasuk, it's hinted in the Pasuk. Yaakov, a star will come out from Yaakov. Shekar al David Malcha Mashiach. It's on one hand, it's referring to Mashiach himself, and on the other hand, it's referring to the spark of Mashiach in every single Jew. That on one hand, Mashiach is going to reveal himself. That's what we call as the general Mashiach. And the other hand, the spark of Mashiach in every one of us is going to come alive, and we will experience what is called personal redemption. Mashiach Prati. Since every one of the Jewish people has a spark of Mashiach inside of us, as we said, that's the love of the Yechida. And Mashiach is the general Yechida. And therefore, by revealing the spark of Mashiach in every single one of the Jewish people, this is hinted on. This will bring about the general redemption of Mashiach himself. So the more we work on reaching what we say is personal redemption, the more we will have general redemption in the entire world. And then we will have the renewal of the new Torah coming out from God, the innermost dimension of the Torah, the Yechida of the Torah. And then we will have the new heavens and the new earth that will come out from God himself as well. And this will bring uniqueness and oneness to the entire world. There will no longer be separation. There will no longer be division. Everything will reach its ultimate state of unity. And this is furthermore hinted in the beginning and the completion of this week's Parsha Naso. Parsha Naso in the Bnei Israel starts off by lifting up the heads, by counting the Jewish people. Because by counting them, we show how that we are connected and literally connected to the oneness of God himself. And in this level, we're all one. We have the state of what we say is unity amongst all of us. And this is from the level of the Yechida. We're the level where we all are in a total state of oneness. Parshas Nasa shall call Yud Beis Nasi Yisrael, and in the completion of the Parshas Naso, where we have the Achdus of all 12 of the leaders of the tribes of the Jewish people, which takes place that they will all come together for the inauguration mizbeach of the tabernacle, they call it. וגם לאחרי הקדוש ברוך הוא אמר נעשה אחד יום נעשה אחד יום יקראם קרבנוים. Through the offerings we reach the state of oneness. האלה עליהם הכסוף כאילו כולו קריבו ביום ראשון כאילו כולו הקריבו ביום האחרון. Then everything becomes a state of what we say is oneness. שאחדות היא זה היא מצד עצם הנשמה בחילת יחידה שהיה it's called בני שווה. Because in this level of what we say the yechida, in the state of oneness, the highest level of our soul, there's no separation between us, not in body, not in thought, not in emotion. It's literally a state of oneness. And lifting up and lighting up the narrows, the lights, from the 7 branches of the menorah, zahav the Zion Suki, that we know that the one of the miracles was that the menorah that was fashioned out of gold with 1 block of gold, and that 1 block of gold formed into 7 branches. And that's the idea that even though there are 7 different types of Jews, if we will, from different emotional attributes, we come from the same block of gold, if you will, the same hands of Hashem. There are 7 levels in our service of God, just like 7 branches of the menorah. Nevertheless, nevertheless, we really are one. Because we're formed out of 1 slab of gold, if you will. That says, and this is from the 5th level of our soul, that level of the Yechida. And furthermore, and mainly, the Parshas HaMenorah, the Parshas HaNesim, with Geshes, Ma'alas, the Shevet Levi, Kol Yud Beishvati, and all the tribes. Kapirosh Rashi, Naminik Nasa, Parshas HaMenorah, Parsha HaNesim. What is the connection? The fish Sha'aro, Aroin, Anuchas HaNesim, Alasha az kasha'alo haya imahem hanucha lo haya velo shvatim amar lo HaKadosh Baruch hayecha shel hagadola mishlehem she'ata merchalik u'miteves hanoras v'chad im zeh kemen shabem ha'meshek v'esveicha lezeh mergash gam ha'shaycha shebenehem, showing in fact against that even though there's what we see to be separation, everything comes down to the state of oneness. And this is connected again to the level of the Yechida. In the level of the Yechida, there's no separation. It's just one. Karuma b'siyam divrei Rambam. As the Rambam says, Hari davar al hamar hayat manas hachir v'kisei es tamich v'roli v'orel kaya al etzam v'nashama b'chinas Yechida n'yes shal davar malcham Mashiach. And again, that Mashiach is the general soul of all the individual unique souls, showing our oneness. Okay. And according to this, we see even deeper the emphasis of how the Jewish people received the Torah, because we were in a total state of oneness. It says, Ish echad v'lev echad, 1 man and 1 heart. Literally, meaning that we were totally nullified. We put aside our differences, if you will, and focused on the unity aspect. B'chodesh Shlishi, on the 3rd month, b'yoyim hazeh, and on this day, referring to the 6th day, Midravar Sinai, v'chein Shem Yisrael, Yechein Noshin Yechid, Ki'ish Echad v'lev Echad, as we just said, 1 man and 1 heart. And God was able to give us the Torah because of our unification, because we were one. And how do we reach this actus? From the level of the Yechida, the place in our soul when we're truly one altogether. And this is connected with one to Mashiach and the Torah of Mashiach. Panemius Torah, the innermost dimension of the Torah. Bechinas Yechida. This is the level of the Yechida that we're referring to. Torah, and that was experienced and revealed in the time of the giving of the Torah. Yes, the words to say she'inyan zeh muruma mudgash v'yoser b'Shabbos la'achim matan Torah, and this is emphasized even furthermore in the Shabbos after the giving of the Torah. Shakdus sayim shal Yisrael shematzad b'chinas yechida shemudgashes parsha Shavua, again connected to this week's parsha. Hakanada gula Torah shel Moshiach she'oisve la'achi gilui d'matan Torah Torah chadash mitzi teitzi. Okay, Yudal. V'noisef al hadgashes ha'inin Torah chadash mitzi teitzi. In addition to what we've emphasized about the new Torah that will come out from Hashem Himself. The Parshas HaShavua Shekorim B'Shabbos La'achim Matan Torah. Hein B'Nugash B'Metchilas HaPerkei Avos B'Shabbos La'achim Matan Torah. And these are connected again to the Perkei Avos as well as to the Torah portion of Nasa. Dior HaToichen HaInyan. The Moshe Kibal Torah Sinai. And this concept that Moshe received the Torah from Sinai, that we learn about in the Perkei Avos and the Shabbos after Matan Torah. Al Kabbalah's Torah Matan Torah, that adds on even more from the time of receiving the Torah. Yesh learns to say, Sheikra Hadgasha Bezeh He Al Haispa Chidush B'Torah Aydei Makabel HaTorah. That the unique thing of the Torah is not only the Torah itself, but it's for us as the receivers of the Torah, that we also have a unique energy. Kumudgash b'duer kalashin, as it says specifically, Moshe Kibel Hasara. So again, we have these two dimensions. We have the fact that the Torah is given brand new, and that each one of us must learn the Torah in a brand new way because we're brand new. So we have the newness of the general of the Torah and the newness of each one of us individually in our approach to learning the Torah. And the main point is that is adding on into the unique thing of that we'll be giving in the Torah in the future to come. Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitzi, the new Torah that will come out from God Himself. Kumudgash, this is emphasized. Aleph. Back down the Moshe Kibal Torah Sinai, the fact that Moshe received the Torah from Sinai, and it says in the Mishnah, every single one of the Jewish people have a portion in the world to come. Referring to the future of Tchiyat HaMesim, of the lifting and raising of the dead. And this is emphasized even more through the new Torah that will be given in the future to come. Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitzi, the new Torah that will come out from God. And secondly, the Mishnah, as it says in the end of the Mishnah, and God desired to give the merit to the Jewish people, and that the desire to give us in righteousness in the Torah, etc. And the main thing is that we should learn Torah in a precious way. Okay, Kivan Shalimar Torah, that since the learning of the Torah, in a way that will bring about a new Torah that will come out from God. Again, the Rebbe is just repeating this point that in addition to the new Torah, will bring about a renewal of all of the aspects of every aspect of creation. And will also bring about a emphasis of the fact that we are truly one nation and totally one with Hashem. And that the giving of the new Torah will bring forth the Torah of Mashiach, a unification of the heaven and earth. With Geshes v'hadama v'chayaysama, the miras Perkei Avos, and again this is spoken about in Perkei Avos, where it says, Kol Yisrael yeschem la'olam haba, every one of the Jewish people has a portion of the world to come. And my people are all righteous, God says. Because of this level of the Yechida, each one of us is pure, and each one of us is connected to each other and connected to Hashem. These achtus beis kitzvayis to leimar Torah v'leimar Torah. These magadol shebegedolim shalemer boyfriend yigdal Torah v'adir drush v'kavel skar עד הקטן שבקטנים, שולמר עצם מלמר ותינוק שיש טובים, חולה בתוך בית למר, התינוק, and says even a child, young child, will see this brand new energy. Okay, Yud base. Wow, it's a long sikha. Oh, no, it's not that late. Okay. Yesh lahoisef, in addition to this, levuar hashaychus and chidush b'Torah. In addition, and adding on and explaining the connection to the renewal of the Torah, the Shemayim arts and the renewal of the heavens and earth. Shabbat shla'achri zaman matan Torah seinu. There's emphasized in the Shabbat after the giving of the Torah. And Yinui Shayoim HaShabbat, Shenikvo, B'Devenenu, Amonos, Chidush, Va'oidem, Ki Sheshishimim Aseh. Hayav Chulu, Aire, Amenucha, Hishvisa, Mini Ha'oidem, Yistaskois, Me'ini Kedusha, Va'prat B'Leimer HaTorah, Sheshaychus Mechal V'Leim Shabbat. The importance of increasing, as we said, in all the matters of the Torah, especially in the Shabbat after the giving of the Torah. Call in Shabbat, Yitay Torah in Israel. Yesh Moshiach Now Torah b'Yom HaShabbat. Nasagam and Chitra the Edel Kaman Yistach V'Reis V'Chol V'Om Yadua Sheyom HaShabbat Shekashor Im Magula. And it's known that Shabbat itself is connected to redemption. Kumud Gash, as it's already said that. It's emphasized, no, in the song we sing on the Shabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Asi L'Vo Yilom Shkul Shabbat M'Lechaydo. That it's that Shabbat is a foretaste of the ultimate Shabbat that we will have in the future to come, when we will have ultimate rest. Barachaz Vizman Yom Shabbos. Rachaman Hudi is highlighted on the Yom Shabbat. And may the merciful one bring us to the day with the eternal Shabbos. But prior to Yom Shabbos, Vizman Mincha, especially the time of Chatzos after Mincha, we call it Razah, the Zeruzin, the time of favor, of secrets. The inner dimension of the will and pleasure of God. Atzmos v'tainug mamash, the literally essence of God's pleasure during this time. V'sudah shlishit, nital b'li v'tzrim, v'it v'yakov kasuv v'fafutz shekashorim is geula shlishi. The third meal is connected to Yaakov Avinu. The first one is Avram, second is Yitzchak, the third one is Yaakov Sudah Shlishit, which is specifically connected to redemption. There is to say, the connection to Shabbat and the new Torah in the future to come. The Yom Shkul Shabbos Menucha Haylomin, there will be eternal Shabbat, Torah Chadash Mitzi Tetzi, and again the new Torah that will come out from Hashem and the new heavens and earth that will be renewed. And this is emphasized again even more in the Shabbos after the receiving of the Torah, where we have brand newness in the Torah and the world from receiving the Torah. And it says, B'yom HaShabbat Mudgash Be'ikar. The Chidush L'Sidavo, Torah Chadash Mitzitetzi, Chadashim, Ashvai Chadash V'Charetz Chadash. V'gam Ha'achdu Shel Yisrael Shematzad Gilui B'Chnes Yechida. And this is emphasized again to the point of the Yechida, the inner dimension of the soul of all the Jewish people, where we're one. V'Niasei Shel Moshiach Sha'ayidoi Nasei HaChidush HaTorah V'Chadashim Ha'aretz V'Geshes B'Yom HaShabbos Shabbat Tzricham Nechakal. It's important that we should all study Torah in a rabim, in a group. It's more beautiful for Hashem, especially in the time of mincha and in this time of desire when the Yechida is revealed. And this brings about the ultimate of completion, and especially when we have a big congregation and we're all learning the Torah together. Okay, Yud Gimel. Okay, we're finishing up. Not that I'm rushing, but I'm a little tired. Because then Nitoisef Iluim Miyuchad V'Hadgashem Miyucheres B'Shabbos Shlach Torah B'Shabbos Parshat Naso B'Shana Zu. All this is emphasized now in our times. Hagdim Umedubar Kamba Pa'amim Sha'al Pika Siyaminim B'Divrei Hazak Oidus Achiris. We've reached already the end of days, the end of times. And our generation is the last generation of the exile and the first generation of redemption. And as spoken by the leader of our generation, And he said in this time, he's talking about the Frierdiker Rebbe, the altar, the tshuva, the altar, geula. Immediate tshuva equals immediate redemption. That's what the Frierdiker Rebbe said. Should be a mob. See, mo shal inin havoda. How much more so now, the Rebbe says, when all of our service is complete. And the only thing that is left is to polish up the buttons, meaning the final stages. And we must learn and prepare ourselves to receive the inward dimension, the face of Mashiach himself. How much more so throughout all the years of spreading out the inner well springs of the Torah, the Chassidus of the Torah, up until now, in general and specifically, in the completion. How much more so as we find ourselves 40 years after the passing of the previous Rebbe, where we already know it takes 40 years to understand the teachings of your teacher, of your Rebbe. And we already for sure have a heart to know, eyes to see, and ears to hear. And for sure, we've already polished the buttons. And we were all standing, the Rebbe says, ready and waiting to receive Mashiach. It's hard to imagine why we're still in the Galus, but I wish I knew. And this is applied even more right now in our times in this year. Shana Satosha Nun Aleph, Simyan, Miramaz Pasek Nasal Machuso, Bakal Adam Kudo, Vahavashatevish Lahayat, Hayar Shana Areno Niflois, the year I will show you wonders. Kimese Sechem Eretz Mitzrayim Areno Niflois, and just like when I took you out of Egypt, I will once again show you wonders. But the Chiron Niflois Shekavar, we've already begun to see these wonders. Including all the wonders that were revealed that we see in this year. And it says that was the year of the Gulf War, 1991. And the pasuk says, it's brought down in Yeshayahu. It says that in the year that Melech HaMashiach reveals himself, the nations of the Arab nations will be warring one against another. And that was the year that the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach revealed himself. And that's the year during the Gulf War when the Arab nations were warring against one another, exactly as prophesied. And it says, Hashem says to them, do not be afraid, my children. God speaking to the Jewish people, because all I've done for your sake. And the time of your redemption has arrived. This is what the Rebbe said to us, coming from Hashem in 1991, that the time of your redemption has arrived. This is 35 years ago. It's wild to think about that. And we are already standing in the times that Melech HaMashiach is already coming. And he will announce to the Jewish people, the time of your redemption has arrived. Exactly what the Rebbe just did here. But and specifically now as we find ourselves in the time of the giving of the Torah. And the time has come. We already reached the end of times. And we're holding in the times of the redemption. Kates literally meaning the end. Kates hayamin, Kates hayamin. And as we stand here together, the Shabbos after the giving of the Torah, Shabbos Parshas Nasai, Yishot, Azen Man Hakim, Makoisher, Chidosh, Torah Chadash Mitzi Teitz. He's talking about lifting up, including lifting up of the Torah and the new Torah that's going to come out of Hashem. Lo rak b'lashon hasid, and that's not going to be rather in the future of this new Torah, el b'lashon haveh, but right now. V'oid rega the achrazeh, nasa kavar b'lashon havar, and it will already be in the past tense. The Rebbe said because it already happened. Kivan shezeh hine bo kavar bo, and we will say, "Here's Mashiach," and then we will say, "Oh, he's already here." Okay. Yud Dalet. Masehu ikar. And the main thing is action. That since we find ourselves in the Shabbos after the giving of the Torah, it's early. I thought it was later. Parsha is not so. The Shanas are rain on place, and the year I will show you wonders. Course of Corey, referring also to the new Torah that will come out from Hashem himself. The math of the Hazman Garmahi Hakana, the Kiyum, and we're all standing ready for the new Torah. But Pashtus, in a simple way, he and we must add on and increase in our learning of Torah, and this will bring great pleasure and joy and renewal of the Torah. Joy to ourselves, and joy to others. As we're commanded to raise up many students. And we will all have great wise sages. And we'll have great knowledge of the inner part of the Torah and the revealed part of the Torah. Including from the source of our soul, generally and specifically. It will bring renewal and add on to the learning of the inner dimension of the Torah. And the inner dimension, the Torah of Chassidut, to be revealed in a deeper way. And Chassidus is a foretaste of the Torah of Mashiach that we're going to be receiving. And that every single one of the Jewish people, the Kabel Atzmo, must take upon themselves to increase in our learning of Pirkei Avos. Bakal Shabbos, Mishabbos Hakites, and every Shabbos of the summertime. Yosef, Baleman, Ba'avin, Mishnah Echad, Im HaPerushim, HaParshas, Mishnah, Kal Echad, the full Mishnah day, and to even learn the Mishnayos deeper. Tes Vav, Hiratzon, may it be God's will. That by receiving a good resolutions upon herself, as we said above. This will automatically bring out the new Torah that comes out from God, and the true and complete Redeemer, Mashiach himself. Moshe v'Aaron, together with Moshe and Aaron together, and the Baal Shem Tov, and all of our leaders and all of our rebbes together with them, with all the righteous of the Jewish people. And all the Jewish people in all previous generations. And the dead will arise from the dust and sing and dance together with everyone in our generation, souls and bodies, without any need for delay. And all of us together will learn the new Torah that will come out from God himself. And we will travel to Jerusalem, the holy city, to the holy mountain, to the base of Migdash Shlishi. And furthermore, Techet Miyad should happen immediately. Miyad is Rosh Tevis Moshe Yisrael. David Malcha Mashiach. Pshuto Mamish. Ba'oif Shal Mamshut. And it should happen in a way the Rebbe says Mamshut. The Mata Meser Tefachim Mamish. In the most simple, revealed physical way. Yechiel the Neinu Marinu Rabbeinu Malcha Mashiach Mawad. Hashem should bless us all of Am Yisrael. To Kabbalah HaTorah Chadash Mitzi Teitzi. To receive the new Torah that comes out from God. In a panemius way, in an inward way, in a good way, in a happy way. And we should be learning together with Melech Mashiach and the base of Migdash Shlishi. God bless you. Moshiach Now.